Once again, right at the top of the hour, News Tonight is here to bring you its making headlines. My name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango, and into the bulletin, His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is optimistic that the upcoming China-Africa Summit happening in September this year will be a great forum for Uganda to lobby for its coffee market. This is according to Wang Guan, a China-based television political host at the CGTN, who early this year had a one-on-one interview with President Museveni at State House in Entebbe. Museveni has been interviewed as one of the few high-profile African leaders and supporters of the summit.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will join other African heads of state and their delegations in September 2024 in China for the China-Africa Summit.
Yes, the Chinese leaders are all very focused.
Ahead of the summit, the Chinese media channel CGTN is in Africa to profile prominent figures, with Uganda's President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni taking the lead.
We want to make sure that we come to the continent to find out more about Africa, the Africa that we see. We document instead of the Africa that is on BBC, CNN, or the New York Times, or Fox News, or Breitbart.
The railway, the electricity. Now, here in Africa, part of the problem is that those aspects have not been addressed. The railway, the electricity has been not emphasized.
Wang Guan, a political and current affairs journalist at CGTN, interviewed the president at State House.
It doesn't address too much of the specifics, but he talked very strategically and very sincerely about the affinity of the two people, dating back all the way to the 50s, 40s, and 60s, even to the 1910s and 1920s. When we were both on the same boat fighting imperialism and oppression. So make no mistake, his affinity for China was real.
In an exclusive interview with us, Wang Guan shares his views on the benefits Africa can gain from the upcoming summit.
I wouldn't be surprised if three things can happen. Number one, I expect that to be a consolidation of countries in the global south to step up their efforts and consolidate and coordinate their action against an increasingly divisive and divided world, where some countries insist on having blocs, alliances based on ideology and so-called values that they think are superior.
Despite China being one of the Africa's leading business and development partners, more efforts are needed to address challenges between the two regions.
So I think China can take criticism where criticism is due. When it comes to underpayment of local laborers, or underemployment or underutilization of laborers, I think China has been heeding those concerns from countries like Zambia, when the copper mining was an issue, or South Africa, when the environmental concerns were raised, or here in Uganda. I think I'll be happy to pass this information back to my think tank friends or to government friends. But on the other hand, I think Chinese are doing a lot of things to change this.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni hopes that the summit will unlock potential in the fields of infrastructure, business and sports.
As to the specifics, of course, he talked about trade. He hoped that there will be more exports from Uganda to China. He introduced coffee. He's a proud Ugandan in terms of having one of the largest coffee-producing countries in the world.
One further reaffirms that China, by meeting and engaging with African leaders, has no ambitions to politically dominate the continent.
I understand the frustration about that, and also there are allegations, innuendos about the Chinese coming here and doing similar things. But I think the allegation that China is a neo-colonialist power is far-fetched. First of all, just look at the simple fact. Which country outside Greater China area speaks Chinese as a first language? One, Singapore. How many countries outside the UK, as many good British friends as I have, Scottish? 80, according to Wikipedia. Why? Because during the era of expansion, where China is largely a regional power focusing on developing its own society, improving its own livelihood, lifting 800 million people out of poverty.
The China-Africa Summit is a forum that brings together over 48 African countries under one roof to deliberate on issues ranging from geopolitics and business to security.
China has, under the Communist Party of China, has been a partner in the anti-imperialist struggle. Now, when they have more capacity, they are working with us to develop equal relationships in trade, and they are doing the right things. As I've told you about the railway, if you build the railway, how can anybody say you are doing something wrong?
For Uganda, the president has delegated the vice president, retired Major Jessica Alupo, to lead Uganda's delegation to the September summit. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
They use both.
Government is set to bridge the gap in defining and listing out the research agenda that can be consumed by government and the private sector. While closing the 8th Uganda Evaluation Week, Minister of General Duties and Office of the Prime Minister, Justin Kasule Lumumba, applauded Uganda Evaluation Association for supporting government through monitoring and evaluation practices.
Government has applauded evaluation and monitoring practices that are vital in fighting corruption.
Because we in the government, when it comes to funding, whenever there are budget cuts, evaluation suffers first. Because it's not appreciated. It's looked at as money spent by people in workshops, meetings, fuel, not so important. So if there are budget cuts, those are cut. And when they cut, and there is nobody to go and inspect, nobody to go and evaluate, the person who is doing the work has the advantage because there is no whip. There is nobody monitoring. Most of them take advantage, and then corruption takes the center stage. Then we come up to blame. But where were we before things happened? But once there is somebody to supervise or to monitor, and somebody knows there will be an evaluation report, one will be very conscious.
Evaluation is helping government in setting strategies for catalyzing climate change and improving the health sector.
It is to ensure that our drugs are not stolen, to ensure that health workers are working, and in that case we shall already have influenced, service delivery and governance, which is really the objective of the project. We want to have so many hectares of trees by the end of 2030. The ministry or sector that is relevant for ensuring that happens is already updated and is aware and is reporting on the progress towards achieving such targets.
Government has been applauded for setting a conducive environment for evaluation practices, although need to increase funding for monitoring and evaluation activities in government programs has been highlighted.
Recommendations to government. There's need to develop a national research and data management policy for good governance to guide data processes and link with strategic frameworks. Increase funding for M&E activities in government programs and improve uptake of evaluation findings. Enhance transparency and accountability in public procurement through digital systems and comprehensive traceability. Enhance collaboration between government, academia, and civil society organizations in M&E activities.
Monitoring and evaluation is done on projects and programs of government, social societies, and private sector. Winnie Ainembaba's Katire, Nabasa Viola for UBC.
In the aftermath of Kitezi landfill disaster, climate change activists have decried the lack of sustainable national garbage management plan. During a West Management Dialogue organized by the Climate Skaters Kitezi, MP for Nakawa East Ronald Balimwezo revealed that as a country, urgent efforts to reuse and recycle garbage is needed now more than ever.
The deafening silence that ushers you in Kitezi reminds one of the calamity that befell this infamous area in the outskirts of Kampala. During a Waste Management Dialogue organized by Climate Skaters Kitezi, more voices are urging government to collaborate with the private sector to develop a sustainable strategy of modifying garbage into useful items by adopting reuse and recycling technology.
Garbage is garbage when it has no further use. We have a challenge that we have no garbage management plan for this country. But also we don't have a disaster risk management plan in place. Otherwise, what is happening in Kitezi wouldn't have happened.
Climate activists and the climate skaters of Kitezi are using skating game to raise more awareness about the need for a joint effort to reduce the piling of garbage right from household level.
From the households, people could actually be more careful with the way they dispose their waste. We could have more awareness programs. We could teach these little children. Personally, I teach these little children in climate skaters to we have climate education classes actually, but one of the things we teach them is to reuse and recycle. We already have projects within our skate park where we are making dustbins out of plastic. We are making paper bags. These little children you've seen are making quite amazing things. So if we taught children from a younger age that they can recycle, they can reuse, they can do better, teach them how climate change affects us, we could make a difference. So if at home I managed my waste very well, I put plastics, I put organic waste, and when these people come to collect, they just take a bag. They know yellow is for this, red is for this. It would make everything simpler, but that is lacking. I mean, you can meet a grown-up person who drinks water and throws the bottle out of his car. So we need to change mindset.
Kampala produces 2,500 tons of garbage every day, but only 1,200 tons is collected, leaving about 1,300 uncollected, thereby heightening the need to expeditiously address this issue.
Many people dump garbage. In Kampala alone, we generate 2,500 tons of garbage, but only 1,200 is collected.
The government must come up with a clear solution for these people of Kitezi. They are suffering. They have displaced them, put them into a camp at Kitezi Primary School. At what time, how long are they going to stay there?
At least 80% of diseases affecting people are caused by poor sanitation, and this calls for concerted efforts in managing waste at household level while collaborating with stakeholders.
So let us ensure that the plans we put in place when developing other landfills, let them be climate proofed to ensure that the waste is properly managed.
Crispus, UBC News.
Now, Resident District Commissioner of Kasese District, Lieutenant Joe Walusimbe, has assured the people of Kasese to enhance security as the district prepares to host the Mount Rwenzori Marathon tomorrow. He made these remarks during a meeting with stakeholders and sponsors of the event. Participants from over 32 countries have arrived for the marathon.
So, that one, and I assured the organizers and other participants who are here that everything is well. I had my strong team here of UPDF, police, and the cocktail of intelligence departments. So, another thing, I also say all is good because Kasese we have reached this far.
We are prepared. You can see all the infrastructure and gadgets are all set. Equipment is set, both here and in Chikorongo at the equator, because we have two starting points. One will be here where we are on Stanley Street,
and another one will be in Chikorongo at the equator. So all equipment is ready, infrastructure is ready, and people are also ready. I would like to re-emphasize that the road will be closed from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. So all travelers who know they may cross Kasese Katunguru Road should prepare, because by 4 a.m. There will be no automobile, any vehicle, any bicycle or any motorcycle that will be allowed on that route. Another route that will be closed is the Kasese Kilembe Road. Yeah, so people should prepare themselves.
Now, a total of 23 motorized water facilities in 3 refugee hosting districts of West Nile have been handed over to the Northern Umbrella of Water and Sanitation for the operation and maintenance. The water facilities were rehabilitated by Germany Technical Cooperation, GIZ, with support from Austrian Department Agency.
Yumbe, Terego and Madiokolo in West Nile are some of the districts that have been hosts to thousands of refugees since 2016. However, amidst the big numbers of refugees, the districts continuously face the challenge of water scarcity.
The rate of disease outbreak, because we are drinking this river, people were complaining of cholera, typhoid. We used to move long distance if you want to get a clean water.
Before this tap, for us, these people used to brought for us these water tanks. Then we don't know that water, is it safe?
In 2021, the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development and Austrian Development Agency offered to rehabilitate 23 water supply facilities. This was done through GIZ's WhatsApp project in refugee settlements of Imvepi, Bidibidi and Rhino Camp. The project is intended to ensure sustainable delivery of water and sanitation services to refugees and host communities in 3 refugee settlements.
Access to water is a big problem in many parts of the world. So we think that today the government of Uganda, together with Germany, we were able to at least take one step ahead in improving access to water.
And we are very aware of the challenges and the difficulties that especially this area is facing. And as Germany and Uganda have a long time cooperation, and 60 years now, we are aware, so we will continue and phase up our support.
The 23 water facilities have finally been handed over to Northern Umbrella of Water and Sanitation in a transition from a humanitarian-led service to a utility model. Martin Wamalwa is the manager for Northern Umbrella of Water and Sanitation.
Utility model means that the end user will provide a certain fee. So what do you pay for? You are paying for the rehabilitations and repairs, replacement of parts that will get worn out when the system is running. You are going to pay for the person who wakes up in the morning to switch on and off. You're also going to pay the cost of energy. So that cost is what the end user pays as a service for providing water to him.
However, it is not yet clear how refugees will be able to afford the utility fees based on their vulnerability situations.
Yes, we are aware that there is a substantial inability for the refugee population to pay for services. And that's why we are discussing with the UNHCR to find a solution on how UNHCR can subsidize part of the payment that the refugee community might fail to meet.
Paul Kenya, the head of Arua UNHCR office, has committed to support the Northern Umbrella in ensuring sustainability of the project.
We'll continue to support Northern Umbrella until they have the capacity to take over. While we pledge support working with our partners, Water Mission and the National Water Utility, we hope the district, and we will support them, to mobilize funding.
The project was also done under supervision of Ministry of Water and Environment.
Once a system is built like this, we want the water to be given to the communities. It is not often that we get supported to construct 15 water systems, so we want to appreciate.
The 30 water supply systems were identified for rehabilitation to serve over 200,000 people in the refugee settlements. 23 schemes out of the 30 have so far been completed, 8 of which were handed over to the Northern Umbrella in August 2023. Joseph Fodama, UBC News.
Now, health experts are calling for urgent regulation on advertising of unhealthy foods targeting children. This comes in a wake of a revealing study conducted by Makerere University College of Public Health, which highlights the direct link between intensive marketing of unhealthy foods and the alarming rise in obesity and non-communicable diseases.
The food and beverage advertising to children in Uganda Face You project, carried out by Makerere University College of Public Health, is intended to regulate children's food marketing environments and develop effective policies which improve children's health.
I think we had not yet had a study that is looking at advertising and then the behavior of the children and how these adverts drive the behavior of the children. And it is through this that we can generate local information, local data, because many times you may want to use data from other contexts, from other settings, to make your own policies. But when we generate our own local data, then we are in a better position.
The research highlights that the constant bombardment of these advertisements significantly influences children's food preferences and consumption patterns, leading to unhealthy dietary habits that are difficult to break.
Then it gives the fun words, freeze me, freeze your squishy into slush, freeze me, squeeze me, drink me with straw or powering cup. Which baby wouldn't want to, pester you by for them this?
Unhealthy food marketing, it's aggressive, unregulated impressions made to the consumer. It carries embedded cues to consume the advertised food. So the child watches Jolly Jazz on TV, or they see it on the huge billboard looking at them, seeing their fellow child enjoying Just For You, which is a juice, and so they want it.
The study findings have sparked a renewed call for stringent regulations on food advertising directed at children. Regulatory measures need to be put into place to limit children's exposure to unhealthy food marketing, a key step in addressing the growing public health crisis.
So they are ready to consume foods entirely or mostly made not from foods, but from industrial ingredients and additives. These additives are energy dense, they have a high glycemic load, they have a low dietary fiber, they are low in dietary fiber, micronutrients, and phytochemicals, and are high in unhealthy fat, free sugars, and sodium.
Among others, experts recommend that the Ministry of Education should come up with regulations which prohibit the sale of unhealthy processed foods at schools and be replaced with healthy foods.
I learned that some schools allow unhealthy food vendors to access the schools, and to maybe some of them are running the canteens, and there could be also conflicts of interest, because if the teachers are running the canteen, then they're the ones bringing in the unhealthy food to children.
The 2016 Uganda Demographic and Health Survey found 4% of children under 5 years and 16% of adolescent girls were obese, a rise from 2.4% of boys and 2.1% of girls respectively in 2014. Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Kampala Metropolitan Traffic Police Commander Nightway Godwin has issued guidelines for the upcoming Rotary Cancer Run scheduled for Sunday, August 25, 2024. That this will be the 12th edition of the event, which aims to raise awareness about the changes and charges of cancer.
Cancer Run
within Kampala metropolitan policing area. That is areas of Jinja Road, Chira Road, Wandegeya, CPS. Gogo KCC ground would be a starting point, an ending point. We are expecting over 10,000 participants in the areas in 3 races. That is 5-kilometer race, 10-kilometer race, and 21-kilometer race. Therefore, the following traffic guidelines will be put in place. Participants will have parking space at Uma Showground, Gogo. For participants who are coming to participate in the marathon, will have their parking space at the Uma Showground, Gogo. The participants should have discipline on the road, especially the one driving. The participants who are coming to participate in marathon and they are driving should have discipline. They should not abandon their vehicle on the roads. The general public, especially the motorists, the drivers, riders, and pedocyclists, you are advised to respect the directives given by the traffic police. If a traffic police officer is deployed on the road and advised you not to park, not to use this road, please respect the guidelines that have been put in place. As police, we are ready, prepared, and we shall have motorized deployments in both motorcycles and vehicles for people who are participating in this marathon. We shall have lead cars and motorcycles who will be leading the participants and those one who will be going behind the participants. I want to assure the general public the security and safety of those participants on 25th August 2024 will be guaranteed.
Now, stakeholders in Moroto district have commended We Take Our Peace Development Initiative and Education Above All Foundation for the improved enrollment of children into schools in Karamoja.
Karamoja sub-region has a cycle of insecurity arising from cattle rustling and gun violence due to porous borders. This has over time given rise to the increase in the number of orphans, reduced school enrollment, and increased the number of widows, among other encumbrances. Because of these, many schools were turned into battlegrounds.
First of all, the warriors were really fighting just near the schools. They were just really passing with their guns, the compound of the schools. Also there in Kiloro, they were just killing people. Why are really these children even during break time they go and play? So that's why I prompted us to close these schools. In Kakingwa, they really blocked the road. Teachers could not access to come to the center to buy even some items, even going from here. So they really terrorized these schools very badly.
Education Above All Foundation, We Take Our Peace and Development Initiative, and the Moroto local government entered a partnership to boost education in Moroto district.
So report like that, we also go as the key actors, the reinforcement, the recourse to first. We support the LOC1 in getting these children to school, and also in case the parents are the ones who are entertaining that, who are advising their children not to go to school, to break that law, we also go and get those parents. We put them for capacity orientation, mindset orientation. We put them like in the law. They are handcuffed. You first do action in order to open the mind of the parent, who will now say, hey, I'm seeing all this is bad. Allow the child to go to school.
Michael Ogit is a head teacher and patron, Peace Club at Nakapilmen Primary School.
So we used to experience children being absent, and we used to follow them at home. But when the children underwent this course. So they are now coming to school and representing as a
Tarif Bakari, the technical expert, noted that the key objective of the organization is to protect education in conflict-ravaged areas in over 60 countries across the world.
To communities, we will be able to promote both the culture of peace and help a lot of others to access education. In Uganda, we have had about 10 projects so far since 2012.
Crispus Arinitwe, Maureen Iga, UBC News.
Now, National Forestry Authority, in partnership with Greater Bushenyi District, have launched forest management committees for the Kalinzu and Kasioya Kitomi forest reserves. The initiative is intended to help conserve forests in districts of Bushenyi, Mitoma, Buhwejo, Rubirizi, Shema, Ibanda, and others.
National Forestry Authority (NFA) has inaugurated forest management committees in Greater Bushenyi districts. The team, headed by LC5 chairperson Ibanda district, Simon Muhumuza, is to play a key role in protecting forests in the region.
They are supposed to identify the best management practices and recommend them to National Forestry Authority for purposes of improving on the management practices within those forests. The recent mapping we've done indicates that our forest cover is now at about 12.4%, and this is of course not where we desire to be. As a country, we were at 24% in 1990, so we've lost 50% of the forest cover.
While inaugurating the committees, the chairperson Board of Directors National Forest Authority stated the responsibility of the team in preserving the forests.
Last year, the stakeholders, especially local authorities, they're very important branch of stakeholders. And we highly treasure you. That is also why we have come here and made sure we remind you of your responsibility. As NFA, we are further expecting that forests being part of our responsibility, because NFA is just mandated by government to help it take care of the Central Forest Reserve. We are saying we have to work as a team, and that's why we have created committees today. That's why we informed the RDC, the LC5, so that that teamwork continues.
The newly appointed chairperson of these committees, Simon Muhumuza, has pledged to work hand in hand with local leaders and NFA to achieve its goal.
We have innovated by saying if you are celebrating your birthday, plant a tree. If you go to visit a friend and it's housewarming, plant a tree. If you are on a burial, instead of taking flowers that do not rot and then they destroy the environment, we take seedlings there.
Let's be transparent in whatever we are doing, and let's try to collaborate with all stakeholders as far as conservation of our environment and forests in particular is concerned.
Bushenyi District LC5 chairperson Jeff Abasajabalaba and other leaders have committed towards fighting environmental degradation.
When we preserve forests sustainably, because it is part of your mandate to make sure that we produce good products and services that will make this government or this nation prosper.
I appeal to the people that they should protect these forests by giving reports of those they see tampering with our forests.
The function was attended by officials from NFA, district leaders, resident district commissioners, among other leaders.
For this wonderful occasion.
Now, traders in Gaya's market have expressed fear over the piling heaps of garbage in their market following closure of the main landfill of Kitezi. The traders have called upon relevant authorities to coordinate and handle the issue to avoid likely outbreaks of diseases.
These are heaps of garbage piling up in Gaza main market and the surroundings. The garbage has been piling up after the collapse of the main landfill at Kitezi that left traders with limited choice of garbage dumping. Many of the traders are in fear of losing customers due to the deteriorating hygiene in the market.
bagala tubasasule kasasiro ate olumu ne bamugaana n'omutwala ne tubeera naye n'aleeta enswera ne tubeera nga abakaaso bagala n'otukwata naye nga tusasula buli lunaku bakasasiro. Not fair.
In response to reduce the garbage heaps in the market, Shiro Petroleum has donated disposal garbage bins and plastic bags to save the situation. They also provided a garbage collection vehicle to temporarily help the council in transporting garbage to Busika dump field.
First and foremost, we are doing this to give back to them for continuously supporting us. Secondly, we have realized that garbage collections and proper disposal of garbages in the town, it is not quite organized, and it is not in a way that the community take it serious. They only tend to wait for the government to come and do this for them.
Traders expressed dissatisfaction over the increasing heaps of garbage in the market. In the same vein, traders were also sensitized on proper management and disposal of garbage.
With our usually annual campaign, which is keep the environment clean and green, our project of today is having proper disposal of garbage, because it has become a big problem in this country. So we are looking forward to sensitize the community, we are looking forward to sensitize the town, we are looking forward to cooperate with the town councils to ensure that the business people properly dispose the garbage.
The main Kampala metropolitan landfill of Chitezi gave way 2 weeks ago, burying several homesteads and leaving many dead.
Ekutosaku papa patetua musonga katindo kulo mukaganga satulu mwezi guno gwa munana jangu kudamzu wota kuragime grounds tunyumirwe ngokuyingira jinja kube emitwalo 2 naye tiketi wogigulira ku MTN momo ogifuna ku mutwalo gumu ye ya VIP ya mitwalo 3 katindo nyiga *165*2 noti hash oba kozesa momo app wegulire tiketi yo ku MTN momo ku bei rahisi tosubwa abayimbi bonna ab'e Kampala n'ab'e Busoga papapate netegekeddwa Douglas Rwanga ne kutuusibwako MTN.
Together we're unstoppable.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Shocking statistics on road crashes in Uganda show that there were over 23,608 road accidents in a single year, 2023. This highlights an increase of 16% compared to the previous year. The Uganda Traffic and Road Safety Report of 2023 also shows that there were 24,728 casualties from road crashes, with 4,806 people dead, 16,736 seriously injured, and 3,186 escaping with minor injuries. The rampant increase in the number of road crashes and casualties in Uganda is seriously alarming. According to Uganda Police Traffic Report, 80% of road crashes in Uganda are as a result of speeding, reckless driving, and violation of traffic rules and regulations. Your life and that of other road users matters. Every life taken or injured in a road crash is an emotional loss to a family, resource loss to a business, development contribution loss to a community, and a socio-economic loss to the nation. Join hands together to reduce and, if possible, eliminate road crashes from our roads by avoiding reckless driving, obeying traffic signs and rules, and maintaining public safety intelligence to keep ourselves, passengers and other road users safe at every time. Remember, drive safe today to live again tomorrow. Tofira kukubo.
Welcome back. Now, in a significant boost to local agricultural sector, USAID Mission Director visited Grain Pulse Limited in Mukono, a key player in grain and animal feed production. The visit underscores the growing partnership between the U.S. agency and the companies, highlighting a shared commitment to enhancing agricultural practices.
Grain Pulse, a prominent enterprise in Mukono specializing in grains and animal feeds, showcased its range of products. The visit to Grain Pulse marked a pivotal moment for the company's future and its relationship with local farmers.
We know in the grain sector that 70% of all farmers is basically smaller farmers that got less than 1 acre of plot. So it's therefore very important that the farmers are profitable as well as sustainable in the long run. You can only do that if you make sure the farmers got the correct and high quality agri-input materials such as seed, as fertilizer. And at Grain Pulse we've got our crop-specific fertilizer that we supply to the farmer.
It demonstrated its commitment to quality and innovation in its product line, which includes a variety of grains and specialized animal feeds.
We are trying to get these technologies closer for them to understand that, yes. And we've also, as Grain Pulse, we are also introducing new fertilizers. We have organic fertilizers, we have organominerals, whereby you have restoration of the soil, but also fertilization of the plant. So these are the technologies we are getting closer to the farmer.
A key focus of the visit was to discuss strengthening of the partnership between Grain Pulse and local farmers who supply raw materials to the company.
Investing in and promoting Uganda's grain value chain development is the right thing to do because it touches and contributes to this secure, to this prosperous, and to this healthy Uganda. It is the right thing to do because it contributes to economic development, it creates jobs, and it improves livelihood opportunities for communities, as we just heard from our colleagues who are working in the refugee hosting communities.
The mission director emphasized the importance of this collaboration in fostering a sustainable agriculture ecosystem.
We have new ways to store our products. The farmers have new ways of storing their products. They know how to handle their products when they take them out from the farms. But more importantly, we have organizations like Grain Pulse and others that we are working with or supporting, who are making sure that we can maximize value from those grains. And that's where the farmer is able to get most of their money.
As Grain Pulse continued to innovate and collaborate, the support from USAID and the focus on ensuring farmer relationship are set to drive significant progress in the region's agricultural landscape. Lydia Chomkama and Juma Nsamba, UBC News.
Now, in Kabarore's Regional Microfinance Support Center zone, Emyoga Savings and Credit Cooperatives are leading a transformative wave, turning the tide on poverty by defying the odds by practicing and selling unprocessed agricultural commodities. Let's hear more in this report.
Emyoga Dream Born, launched by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in late 2019 as part of government continuous strategies to transform Ugandans to subsistence production to commercial production, intended to promote access to financial services by association members.
Why we do that is that we want to empower women so that they can come and save in Emyoga, because you don't expect women to save money if they have nothing that they are doing.
A fruit of the initiative, Mwenge South Produce Dealers Emyoga Sacco, located at Kasina Ward along Market Street in Chenjojo Town Council, is a testimony that has lauded to this call by tightening value addition to agricultural produce.
In our products, so that we make them long last and sell them to different markets, so that we get the income to use in our homes and families.
To further this dream, Emyoga leaders and selected members from district including Ruwelo, Nakaseke, Gomba, Kayunga and Mukono embarked on the exchange visit to Kabarole Microfinance Support Center zone to learn and share knowledge with their counterparts. Fortunata Kankwasa is a records assistant for Mwenge South Produce Dealers Emyoga Sacco from Bisandika Produce Dealers Association, who major in adding value to Irish to produce crisps that command a bigger market share in the region.
We give market to our members who grow Irish potatoes.
The success in value addition is not unique to Mwenge South alone. It is a growing trend across the region, including Chaka Central Produce Dealers Sacco.
I've got a supplement of pigs. They are there. In fact, I have been planning to add more structures.
So I'm glad that this Emyoga Sacco has given us a hand, and we hope to benefit more.
These, among other saving and credit cooperatives, testify a changed economic status of their members.
Now when you get maize flour out of grain, you sell at a higher price and you get high profits.
In this region, value addition has become a new culture, embraced by the groups like Chankaiga restaurant owners Emyoga Sacco, where members are adding value to matoke by making wine, creating art and crafts, and manufacturing Vaseline, which supplements their weekly savings. Kamwenge Resident District Commissioner Loina Malabatuze emphasizes the importance of transparency in Sacco operations. Meanwhile, Gomba Resident District Commissioner Harriet Nakamia urges SACCOs to be creative as a pathway to shift economic growth.
When you compare these days to former days, surely the Emyoga funds are helping our people.
As we do teach them how to save, even let them be creative. Value addition, whatever they are doing on the ground, they will achieve more and they will succeed.
Supported by the Microfinance Support Center, this 5-day exchange visit has equipped Central Region beneficiaries with skills in SACCO management and operations, among others.
Minister of State for Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anite, has tasked local companies and industries to promote and ensure value addition for their products to meet the demand at an international market.
Government, through its foreign policy, intends to expand its beef exports to Egypt and the United Arab Emirates in a bid to meet the growing demand for Uganda's beef products on the international market.
Especially for the value addition that is happening here, because Ranchers Finance speaks to to our slogan as a country. Agriculture is the backbone of our country. And now Rancher's Finest is doing value addition on 195 products. And this is very exciting for me because these are all agricultural products. We are talking about dairy products. We're talking about beef products. We're talking about cattle, piggery.
During harvest to assess working conditions at Rancher's Finest, a beef processing company, Minister of State for Investment and Privatization Evelyn Anite said given the robust number of local companies aiming at value addition and quality for their products, Uganda now has the potential to meet the international demand.
4 years back, His Excellency Karamoja Museveni visited Britain, and Prime Minister Boris offered the tables in Britain to Uganda as for us to be able to put our beef. I can tell you from that time up to now, we have not been able to fulfill that demand. But I am very optimistic and very excited that Rancher's Finest, our Ugandan company, is going to meet that demand.
According to Anite, government will work with the Muslim leadership to acquire international standards and halal certification.
This pig being exported to, you say?
Congo, South Sudan,
and at a very good price. And it's very clean and halal. Because we are now eyeing the Egypt market, we're eyeing the UAE market. We cannot reach that market if we don't keep our products clean, if we are not having halal.
The Chief Executive Officer Rancher's Finest, Colin Muyanja, asserts that they have created associations across the country, training farmers on animal husbandry practices, noting that many actors have been included in the value chain.
An integrated farm-to-plate model. So we believe that we are strongly positioned to put Ugandan beef on the world map. Ugandan beef is on demand, on high demand right now in the region and across the world because of our low cholesterol content.
Rancher's Finest deals in frozen cuts, meat cuts and sausages, and intends to invest in modernizing meat production. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Uganda fire! Endiva fire! Ababona fire! Uganda! Thank you for showing your fire! Has Nabole Stadium opened its doors once again? You are one more minute wet. You were the 12th player. When Uganda Cranes needed you the most. Through our famous wins against Karamoja and our unlucky losses, you stood firm, supporting even louder. Now, as Uganda Cranes take on South Africa and Congo this September, South Sudan in October, and play our second legs against South Africa and Congo in November, bring even more fire! Because with your support, Uganda Cranes is unstoppable! Uganda Fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda Cranes. Together, we are unstoppable.
The East Africa UK Tourism and Culture Expo 2024 is here, happening on 8th and 9th of November 2024 under the theme Enhancing Tourism as Engine for Social and Economic Transformation on the sidelines of WTM London at the Rembrandt Hotel, 11th Thalo, PI South Kensington, London, SW7 2RS, United Kingdom. For tickets, exhibitors will pay £1,000 and participants will pay £300. For more information, call +256 787 096 100 or +254 795 806 969. Visit www.eauktourismexpo.com to register.
Well, that's all we had time for. Thank you so much once again for being with us right from 1 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then the final 10 o'clock bulletin. My name is Patricia Lukomampango. A very good night to you. Stay tuned.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. This weekend on UBC.
In the heart of Ukedia district, this new upgraded facility shines bright.
So with this new building and the new constructions, we shall be able to have